Well, first ride out on the Komodo. Test how this theory goes. Starting out, I just got off a night shift. So I'm, it's about 4:50 a.m. I'm on to days off now, so I thought I'd make the most of it here. I try and stay up on my last day so that I transition back into a normal shift. I'm gonna leave the light off. Just want to do a test on mileage here. I put big tires on this thing. Got a 110, 100, 18 on the back, an 80, 100 on the front. A little concerned about power consumption. I'm gonna go ride a regular single track. I'd ride on my 300. I'll do a little bit of a shortened version of the loop just to make sure that I'm gonna get all the way around first thing, and then next time I'll know if I can go farther or not. I wanted this bike for some cross training, not having to run the gas bike, especially as the fire season is here around Merritt. It's not a good time to be running the gas bike with the heat, the spark, fuel. I'd hate to be the cause of a fire there. I do have a powder bottle in my backpack in case of any kind of fire that I might encounter or start. Something I hadn't considered as I got into the e-bike is sneaking up on other animals. There is wildlife out here on the trails. I'm just riding in sport mode. I think it'll get me everywhere I need to go here. Sure feels good and peppy, but this hill right here is going to test my theory right now. Loose at the bottom. Oh, oh no! Could have used a little more oomph. Oh, she's slippery. I normally ride a 2022 KTM 300. Really used to a rear foot pedal brake here. Oh, the loose rock in here is really bad. Whoops. Figure out where all my buttons are. Let's do a hyper mode. Yeah, like that, eh? If I had done it right, sport would have been sufficient there. Wonder how well the low light will show up on the camera. For the price, these bikes aren't cheap, but performance is spectacular. You're getting that 42 horsepower-ish range peak. It's probably ample for the tight technical stuff. Suspension feels really good. I did cut down my bars a half inch. I would like to get some bark busters, and I saw the bars are a thin wall on this thing, so I might have a hard time finding bark busters that fit it. But we'll see when the time comes. Sure feels light compared to my 300. And my 300's super dressed up. It's got all the Emperor Racing armor and stuff. It gets beat up in the bush all the time. It does have around 260 hours on it now. So I was hoping with this I could not put so many hours on that bike, conserve it for another year or two. I think even if I bought another 300, I'd probably keep that one, use it as my trail builder. I'd like to get a skid plate. That SXS, I do believe, makes a skid plate for this now. But getting stuff in here in Canada isn't all that easy. Man, this handbrake, I have a foot brake coming. I want to be able to have a very similar ride to my 300. I know it's not the same, but those kind of controls, I want to maintain certain habits there, and that foot brake is super important to what I do and how I ride. I'm glad I put bigger tires on it right away. This Chataway terrain's very bony, rocky. I think I'll up my regen one. I was worried about how it would feel on this stuff. It's kind of hard and marbly, but bike feels really nice. I'm not going to get into too many logs yet. I want to do some break-in rides, tension up the spokes, make sure I don't bend any wheels right away. That was part of wanting the bigger tires too. I'm sure the wheels are not built like my KTM wheels, and I'm used to just bashing over stuff. I put a heavy duty tube in the front, running 10 PSI. It's a Shinko 216 in the front tire, and then I put a Nitro Moose plushie in the back. Or sorry, not a plushie, a Nitro Moose. It's the 11 PSI. That's what I run on my 300, and they break in nice and turn into a nice amount of traction there. The AT81EX I have on the back is super soft. That casing allows you to run a little more pressure in the tube, I guess. And wow, it's feeling better than I expected here. I'm not going to push any hard pace. I'm not wearing any gear. I'm in my work boots and jeans. I just want the exercise and yeah, some trail attack. I think I'll have to mount my Camelon handsaw on here. I have one on my 300. Nice to be able to trim back some branches. This bike could be great for clearing some trail. Ooh, that's lots of regen. Might be a little too much really, but we'll test it for a bit. Saves me from grabbing the rear brake. I like the size feel over this. I got my spouse, she bought herself actually, a Valtinsu EM5 Pro. And I rode that around a little bit. And I do some videos chasing the kids in the races I do. And it worked really well for that. And I kind of enjoyed the electric so much, I thought I should get my own. I think I'll kill her bike if I use it too much. If it's just her riding it, it'll last her forever. If I'm riding it, I'll beat it up, wreck the rims and stuff. And I am 220 pounds plus gear, so. Brought all my tools. It's kind of a shakedown ride. I did go through quite a bit while I was had it in the shop and doing tires and stuff. most everything seemed to be pretty good. I did find a couple of loose bolts in the plastics. It's great to be able to ride this kind of stuff right out of my yard. Just ride up the street. 10 minutes, I'm at the Chataway riding area here. Still a little darker than I wanted. I tried to burn a little time at home in the shop there before I left, but been watching a ton of videos. Super impressed with these e-bikes. Hard not to be. I don't think it'll ever fully replace my 300. Especially in the races. Ride an average of 2.5, 3 hours in a race. Covering more than 60 kilometers. Whoa, whoa, reaching for that foot brake that's not there. I think bark busters will be high on my agenda. You guys know of any good options for these factory bars for bark busters? I know it's easy for everybody to say, oh, just change your bars, but it's all cost. Skid plate's more important. I'd hate to wreck a case or something on this, on all this rock here. Once you get used to that hold back, it's actually really good. I haven't been on the bike in about a month since Monkey Wrench race. Almost 4 weeks here. Whoa. Ooh, front tire feels a little lowish. Figure I'll GPS track my route here today, just to double check my mileage. It'll be off with these bigger tires for sure, and time it. The light's starting to come in a little better now. Oops. Always miss this turn for some reason. This Sport definitely has lots of juice just for the twisties here, the single track. Pretty impressive. That's the thing, everybody goes after all this big horsepower, and it's can you actually use it? I mean, my 300 when I'm doing some of these big hill climbs out here, sure, but got a couple of good climbs coming here too that are going to be a little bit testy. I want to try and get them in this sport mode, not in my hyper mode. The quiet sure is nice. Whoa. All that traction. That tire's epic. If you've never run an AT81EX in the bush, you should try one. Sticks to everything. Nice soft casing. Really conforms. Super good on the rocks, even in the wet. That regen almost seems to clutch and let free at certain points. I don't know if it's because maybe I touched the throttle. I'll have to figure that out and get comfortable with it. I was holding back nice there, and then it seemed to kind of let go. Been messing with the sound settings on the camera too, trying to find a way, like the wind noise reduction was every time the bike got really loud, it would reduce the whole sound and take away some of the effect. And then I went the other way, and then there's too much wind noise, of course. Right now I have it on voice focus, and we'll see when I edit it how it comes out. I'm not overly worried about it for a ride like this. Just try and make a little off-season content here. And somebody opened up this trailhead here. I don't really like that. It was nice and tucked away and tight there at the start. Gonna be a big climb here. It's not big, but it's a battery eater. Seen around 75%, so I've already used 25. Still have quite a ways to go. I don't know that this will meet what I required. I might have to shorten my loop even more than I thought. I'm sure the big tires didn't help. And I don't want to baby it through here. I want to see what it'll actually do and what my realistic range is. Yeah, with the holdback and just the front brake, it feels really good. Fresh Downy. Usually I go over the log here. Got to get used to that E-power. It's a little bit lurchy. I did add a rim lock too. The bike came with a rim lock, but I added the my stock KTM one. Just seemed like a little better quality. Oh. Ooh. It's that foot peg bracket. Gotta get a little more comfortable on it. Just pop the logs properly. A lot of climbing coming this way. But normally on the 300, right here, I'd go right. This is the road I intended today. Onto a bit of the bar bender race course here. Arrows are still up. The race is always rattle these courses apart a bit. I think I could use one more PSI in that front tire. Oh, I want to go up here. I haven't unplugged the brake sensors. That's twice I've hit tap branches and it cut power. I think I'll do some research and rectify that this week. Figure out what to do there. Oh, I'm so glad I put these tires on. The stalkers out here just get destroyed. I'd have bent rims all over the place. I'll go through all the spokes, retension them. Everything stretches right out of the box. I did have to buy a DID O-ring chain. Just made it a little bit longer to accommodate the back tire here, and it gave me a ton of room. Gave me some room to still move it back if the chain stretches at all, which I'm sure it will over some time here as the sprockets wear. Feels good to be out on the single track though. This is great. Almost at 7K. Oops. Left here. I'll stop here for a couple minutes. Quick check over on the bike. Look what my battery power looks like. .68, 66% there. Still a bunch of climbing to do here. We'll push in, see what happens. Would be nice if I could make this loop right around to Parada's, but could put myself in a position to be looking for a ride here. I think it'll do really well on this kind of stuff. It's just the big climbs around here will eat up a whole bunch of battery trying to get up them in the sand. And the loop must have gone in that way. Oh. Oops, don't want to go that way. Definitely wouldn't make that for distance. Certainly a lot of fun power on this thing. Wouldn't need more. Pretty impressed. Oh, branches cutting my power. More of the A-loop there. Got to go ride the A-loop a little bit after the race with Trevor Rook, and it was pretty sweet. It was nice to be able to poke away through it and take your time on it, not be rushing in race pace and having people breathing down your neck. These bars feel really off, you know, like, I think the sweep's bad. They're really square. Blowing up my arms a bit here. So I may just commit to a set of bars. I think it's only a 7/8 mount, which sucks. It really limits the options. This does have a manual regen button, but using your thumb to control that while you're trying to navigate this stuff, I don't think it'd be very great. Need to do something with the fork. I just set all the clickers in the same spot. Thought I'd run it a bit and see how it feels, give it a little break in. And I'm gonna have to back off the compression a little bit. I'll set my sag for the rear. Lots of jam. A little too much rebound going on. Need the back end too. Feel it top out when I went over that log like that. Jumped a little bit. Suspension's definitely not not KTM worthy here. the true meaning of battery anxiety here. We'll have a look when we get to the road up here. Hopefully we see more than 40% here. Oh, 53. We will carry on then. That's pretty decent. Can't say I'm right halfway, but there is also a lot more downhill through the rest of this here. Couple more climbs yet, but here's a spot I could turn out, but I don't wanna. Too much fun. Nobody's riding the trail here. I'd like to say I could use eco mode on the downhill, but I think the speed limiting there might affect the fun factor. I think Benell 805 is what I'm going to end up with in the long run here. They're just not available yet. I think it's a little closer to what I need and want. Not so mountain bikey feel. And battery range should be moderately better. I don't know that fishing for range out of an e-bike is really gonna be a solution, but you keep your rides a bit shorter, it's not too bad, like what I'm doing today. But I like to ride, when we go out with my buddies, we're out there for 4 or 5 hours often, and it's not to say we ride the whole time, but 80 kilometers isn't out of the ordinary, and this is certainly not going to do that. Won't take a minute here. %. I think I see 49% there. My eyes are getting old, eh? The whole whack of downhill coming here now. Not that I expected to regen, but it'll just cover more miles with less effort. Oh, that's that braking power. So the branch hit my brake, cut the power completely, and I fell over to the point where it kind of wedged me there. The bars turned all the way. Log like that, I would never struggle on the KTM, but I'm just not fully comfortable on this yet. I think really, performance-wise, power and whatnot, it exceeds my expectations. Suspension's not great, but I should have had more realistic expectations for that. I think battery life's a little on the weak side. Did ride it pretty hard though to start. Oh. Chat away the rocks. You can see why I wanted those tires right away. Wouldn't have been great riding out here without those. Oh. This bridge is really falling apart here. I have one at home that I should drag out here at the side-by-side and replace. Certainly need to bring a saw out here. Just a little hand saw, Camelin curved 13-inch, does a lot of wonders on all this small stuff. I don't like to clear all the rocks or all the logs. I enjoy the challenge, but it's the blowdown, the slappers, stuff like that that's no good. And this one, prime example. I have one mounted right to the fork on my KTM. Super slick, just drop the kickstand, draw the saw out, cut an overhead log like that in 30 seconds. I'm certainly gonna push the range today. Yeah, a whole bunch of too much rebound on both ends of the suspension here. We'll come down to another road here pretty quick. Well, a couple kilometers. Make an assessment on the battery again. I'm getting more comfortable already. Definitely got to get rid of the brake switches. Ski every branch I go through now, I'm a little nervous it's going to slow me or stop me. Ooh. A lot of cutting to be done out here. right, here's my road. Oh, 41%. Going for it. Well, there's one really good mountain bikey downhill coming up. Well, it's a ways ahead yet, but that'll help the regen a bunch, I'm sure. Might have to turn it down a bit so it's not dragging so hard and let me carry more speed. Uh-oh. Ouch! Well, that sucks. That's a big bugger, too. Looks like the boy's got a oh, careful, bud. Stabbed that log right into the front of my leg there. The e-bike, definitely a little volatile. You gotta be super careful. Wants to just rip. Gotta ease on it, really light. Oh yeah, that's where the A-loop came through. Really grew in here. I was through here once already this year, but early in the year. That's the bulk of the climbing now. Kind of flow fast and flow through this stuff. Still quite a ways to home though. Be pushing my luck or pushing the bike, one of the two. Got that regen. Certainly don't need much back brake. Got the levers adjusted all the way in, but they're still a little far away for my liking. Mr. Mike McIsaac knows this trail. Hey buddy, miss having you out here. You've been on this one before. Be hard to recognize it in the condition it's in, but liked all those times of coming out and riding with you. You had fun, eh? Beating up the new guys on the Chataway Rock. Yeah, the regen holds really good, but if you even hair touch the throttle, lets her go a bit. Just takes some practice on my part. I find the throttle on the e-bike's hypersensitive, meaning like there's no free play, and feels like it wants to push you down the mountain all the time. When on the downhill, it just takes a C hair bump on the throttle, right? Like that. Barely touched it. I almost went with a Altus Sigma. Be a little less money. It's also a little less bike. Not sure the range would be this good. Bike looked good. There's so many options now. Char's Valtinsu EM5 Pro. Basic, simple, cheap, and it's a good performer. Like anybody with a young kid, throw them on that, and great way to learn to ride. No starting gas engines and whatnot, dealing with clutches. I'm a firm believer in two-strokes and clutches. However, this day and age, when the technology's here, pretty hard to deny them the simple things. Gotta get used to the power application off the logs there. 36%. It's gonna be tight. Take it easy. Oh. Bike's super skinny compared to what I'm used to. Oh. Means I'm not squeezing well enough with my legs, giving me some arm pump. This battery, that's why I didn't run the light at the start, because I knew I was going to be pushing it. Does anybody, whoa, no, if you're going downhill in sport like this casual single track, does this use more power than it would in economy? I'm barely using the throttle. I'm just coasting along just enough to keep gliding through the single track, but my theory is it shouldn't use more power, but maybe somebody knows the facts there and will tell me otherwise. I feel like I want to use a little less regen. That's kind of better. Just dragging the rear tire everywhere. Whoa, better use more brakes now though. Some people complain about the weight of this thing. I think it's 216 pounds or so stock. Add my tires, moose tube and whatnot, and my fat ass. But I like it. It feels planted and stable. It's not all loose and twitchy. Yeah, that regen on 3 is really good on this. Barely using brakes. You can tell the race came through here. No. Oh yeah. The ATV club had a poker run here. Some freshly used up trails. I hope they had fun. Didn't wreck too much of our stuff. I have a side-by-side as well. I enjoy it. I just hope, just don't want them getting into the dirt bike trails and chewing them right up, eh? Side by side can do a ton of damage, just like the races here do, I guess you could say. I mean, one race through here and it shows a lot of extra wear and tear on this soft ground. Well, I'm feeling better about our chance of making it out of here. One more gully to go through up onto the other side. Can take it pretty casual on the slope up the other side there. Have to go straight up it. Do gotta cross the creek. Those guys went down through Blair Ditch. Was what that trail's called. This is always a chew to come up this. Somebody always has an issue. The Chataway Hills are large and plentiful. Minimal run. Large ass sand. What do we got for power? 34%. That's nice. Don't think I have to be as conservative now. 'em. Definitely need a little more pressure in that front tire. And some much better suspension setup. I feel like it's fairly well sprung. Just need some valving changes, clickers. %. Well, that leaves me room for some play there. Could lengthen up this end a bit more, but probably not the full route I would like to take. But I could alternate it a bit, sacrifice that start single track, move into some of the other stuff up to 7K instead. I'd probably use up a little more power there. As long as that nearly 50K an hour range, really nice. Man, power is certainly impressive. I'm used to be really into the wheelies and good at it, but certainly not comfortable on this thing for doing that. Different when you got a 300 two-stroke torque and the power underneath you. This plateau here has a whole bunch of the ED and C loops. that would make for great turn tracks, and I could come out here and just burn off a bunch of kilometers and some tighter technical stuff, and it would be a lot of fun. And minimize my exposure to the distance there. And nice way to start my days off. I find when I come off a night shift, it's better off to just stay up all day, convert back to that regular sleep pattern. I'll be really bagged by the end of the day, probably bed a little bit early, but I'd rather that than sleep half the day and then I'm up late tonight and make some more single track through from the gun range there back over to the ridge where I went out. Nice and windy along there. And it's certainly no 300 going down these hills. You wouldn't want to get carried away on this bugger. All them rocks at the bottom. The 300, I just rattle down this and hop, skip, and plow through, but just more comfortable on that thing than this. That gives me a bunch more confidence in the range. And the power. Wrists are definitely sore from these bars. Super bad angle. Yeah, once I get comfortable on this thing, it'll be a real weapon. Find the screen is a bit small. My old eyes. Having a hard time reading the percentage there, but %. More tire noise than anything else. Gotta watch the nuggety rocks around here. Freaking rim dingers for sure. Went into hyper mode coming off the road. Have a little fun at the end here. Man, I love that tire. Should last really good on here. I'm not going to bore you with any more, folks. So, we'll do a little thing at the end here. 21%. It says 35, so I went at least 31 kilometers. Hey, stop.